We only cleared one chapter this stream, and it was an absolute massacre. Welcome back, humans, to Week 5 of Fire Emblem Monopoly. Week 2 was our bloodiest week in this series, with Chapter 6 holding the record for the most deaths with 3. While we didn't have 5 deaths this week, we did have 4, and Hamil Canyon now dethrones Chapter 6 for the most deaths in a single chapter. Welcome to the Hamil Massacre. You know, early on, I thought Week 5 actually started out rather tame. But you see, this chapter has a lot going on. There's a boss directly to the east, Ballista in the north, south, and middle, a sleep staff next to the boss, Cormag comes from the bottom left in turn 5, and then Pablo and a ton of reinforcements from the west on turn 9. There's enough going on in this chapter for all of us to be rather contained within our own small squads, but it's relatively easy to get overwhelmed if we're not careful. Now, I'm just gonna come out and say it, I know this chapter pretty well. Back when I first played Sacred Stones in 2004, I ended up going Erica route because I was scared to lose my units if I went for Ephraim route. I mean, let's be real, I just did not want to lose Seth. But yeah, Chapter 13 was one of the toughest chapters for me, and I lost over and over because I took my time getting to the boss and always got ambushed by Pablo and a unit would die. But eventually, I figured out one strategy that got me through, and that was to hide away in the bottom right corner. Because my units are fairly frail, I knew this was a strategy I was going to have to emulate. I'm okay with letting the boys dominate the kills for this chapter and the next one. I really just need to survive. But I can also knock out 2 birds with 1 stone here, as that bottom ballista is in range to target Cormag, and I can't really let Speedy have him now, can I? I briefly mentioned this last week, but Speedy's roster is pretty strong between Dozla and JaeAIK, and if I let him have Cormag, who is also a flying bruiser, it's gonna be very hard to stop him from snowballing in the late game. So, I come into this chapter with 1 task and 1 task only, and that is killing Cormag. If that's all I get done this chapter, then I'm golden. My singular thought was to grab the ballista while I run towards the bottom right, try and nuke Cormag with it, and that's pretty much it, just wait around. He's got pretty decent defense and the ballista is fairly inaccurate, so I'll need to land 2 moderate accuracy hits, but it's the only shot I have. Because of the way his AI works, he will fly straight in the direction of Erica. I don't have the extensive testing to confirm this, but from the few runs I've seen in the past, he generally tends to do that unless there's someone in his range. So anyways, the chapter starts and I pretty much have no competition for the bottom right corner. I instantly rush down and on the first turn I've pretty much got possession of the ballista. I decide to let Gilliam sit on it eventually so that one of the guys doesn't block it off and I can take control of the rest of the area with Colm, Innes, and Tethys. I will say, Colm was great in the last couple of chapters when it was monsters with their own monster weapons or swords, but he's not performing so hot against lance-based enemies or human-based enemies in general because his skill stat is pretty low. I'm glad to have him, but his performance is inconsistent, and the fact that I have Duisul and Ephraim on the horizon makes him less useful as a combat unit when it comes to chapters that don't have chests in them. Regardless, for these next couple chapters, he's all I've got, and he'll come in handy for looting the castle in the next one. Jae and Speedy work together to alternate kills around the map and try and thin down the enemies and reinforcements. We're starting to see some promoted units around, so the EXP starts to flow in, and they get a few level ups here and there. This might be a good point in the video to talk about some random stuff in regards to the run. So this is a defense chapter, which means we're actually in an odd position scoring-wise. Generally, an objective is 5 points, and in the past, the MVP of the defense map gets the 5. In this map though, if you kill the boss, it ends the chapter, and if you don't do it fast enough, another boss spawns, so there is potential for a couple of boss kills yielding points. We never talked about this, and as you'll see later, it won't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but just something to make note of. Another chapter that will have 2 bosses is chapter 15, and so I did bring it up after this stream, and I think they agree that each boss can be worth 5 points there. Anyways, back to the chapter. Everyone's kind of spread out at this point, taking care of various problems, while I'm mostly chilling in the right corner, dealing with some calves. I did slaughter Amelia while I was down there because, let's be real, Jae isn't going to go out of his way to recruit her for me since he has to deal with Speedy to help him recruit Cormag.
You killed Raven? Is it my unit?
No, it's mine.
Speaking of which, let's skip to turn 5. Cormag shows up on the map in the bottom left corner with 2 other wyverns on the mountains. This puts him out of range of being recruited, though his AI is programmed to rush down Erica on the very next turn, so as long as you stay in range, you can recruit him fairly easily. This means I need to act ASAP, otherwise, since I go last, waiting a turn means they'll get the recruitment. So I immediately jump into the ballista and fire the first shot. It's a 68% hit rate, which means I could very well miss, but with true hit, that's approximately an 80% chance. Not the worst odds, but it does have a relatively large margin for failure. I need to hit 2 of these shots, and so doing some basic math, hitting 2 80% true hit shots calculates to a probability of a 64% kill chance. So yeah, it's almost a coin flip. Anyways, Speedy does try and lobby with me after the first shot hits, and he offers me weapons? I honestly didn't really give him that much time to lobby. You either make a big offer that I can't refuse, or you don't come to the table.
Killed Raven!
I was about to scream sabotage.
You should have.
I was so fucking close. Suck it, dude. Oh
my Elysian Whip!
Fuck you. Fuck you. You're gonna fucking pay anyways. So hard, man.
Oh, in my opinion, Cormac is absolutely worth it. He'll be a huge carry well into the endgame, and with Speedy's current roster, that would be an absolute dominant force. In order for me to let him have that, I'd need something equally substantial. I guess if I were to think about it now, retrospectively, the most valuable thing in this run, aside from units, are the sabotages. They've had a pretty massive impact for each of us, aside from my miserable failure at using it in Chapter 9 to get Tana killed off. But an offer I couldn't refuse would be a promise to maybe not use his 2 remaining sabotages on me at all, or potentially trading me his current remaining sabotage for this section of the game. Regardless, I'm not trading a couple of weapons for a juggernaut of a unit, and I also get kind of trigger happy, so I went for the next ballista shot and it landed. Cormag is out, and now I've killed all 4 recruitable red units this run so far. There's only 1 more left. Now, we've been talking about that 1 more left, so I won't say anything in this video, but we'll let that happen when it comes to it. In the aftermath, Speedy said he was so close to calling out Sabotage, and honestly, I think if there was a spot to use it, this would have been the one. The first time he missed the call with saving Vanessa, and it almost snowballed into a Natasha death as well had he not called it right after, and now he missed it on a Cormag recruitment. He also reveals that he had planned to use his sabotage to keep the Elysian Whip that he agreed to trade Jae, which is an interesting level of backstab to use on your supposed alliance partner. So yeah, I'll admit, I did not see that one coming at all, so that surprised me a bit, but it would have been very interesting to see how that dynamic would have changed if he did it. He did say that he thought that I would miss one of the ballista shots, and so that he wouldn't have to use his sabotage, and then he could keep the Elysian Whip, but it is what it is, that's just how things happened. Though if he had used the sabotage, would they continue to be allied against me as the greater cause, or would the alliance have crumbled under the weight of betrayal? I guess we'll never know, because my apparent villainy continues to dwarf everything else at this point. With this, my kill counter against Speedy has gone up to a total of 3, with none of them costing him any points because they're all red units. And my kill counter on Jae's units is still 0 because I failed to kill Tana. I haven't caused anyone to lose any points directly. As much as Speedy does want me to shoulder some of the blame for the Vanessa death, I'm still not gonna accept it. I didn't help, but my intent was never for her to die. That was all Jae. Since we're also talking about revealing plans, let's expose some of our group DMs at this point. Prior to the stream, I sent the boys a comment about how I got out of work early, and Jae replies with wins all around. I expressed my concern about all these wins and literally said, "Are we going to have the biggest L on stream tonight?" Jae replies with the fact that his job is done because he recruited Innes, Garrick, and Tethys to keep the run alive, which is valid. I think without them it would have been a very big struggle, but what I replied to him was, in my opinion, even funnier. I said, "You just have to recruit Cormag, and then I think we're done with recruitments." Now, I pretty much already knew at this point that I'd be nuking Cormag. To be fair, I didn't say we, but yeah, roast me all you want in the comments. I knew what I said, and I said it on purpose. Also, let me know if you guys want to see more DM leaks. We do talk about this run in between streams. We do read most of the comments on the streams and my videos, and do discuss what happens here or there, so if you comment with a point, we will see it, and we might just fight with each other about it in the DMs, giving me even more stuff to show in these recaps.
Hello.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Smells like victory.
I don't even want to hear it from you. We're not friends from now on. Like, you're actually dead to me. I'm not preparing for anything.
Now, back to Speedy. He did decide to use his sabotage on the very next turn. The vengeance was there, and I think killing off 3 red recruits of his might have upset him a little bit, so yeah, here we are. I made the fatal mistake of rescuing Tethys with Colm since she was in range of a javelin. I really didn't have to do that, as the Wyvern would not have doubled, and she has enough bulk to survive a round against him. This meant that Colm had his speed slashed in half, and Speedy recognized that he was right there in range of 4 Cavaliers with lances. I quickly tried my best to rush and save him, but between Innis and Gilliam, they weren't close enough to take drop Tethys and were only able to kill one of the calves. This did mean that Colm doesn't die to the calves, unless he got doubled. Now, what Speedy did was very smart, because he equipped him with the Armor Slayer before he ended turn with him, and that was just enough to push him down in speed to get doubled by the calves. Colm ended up going down from 2 rounds of combat, and it wasn't even close. The last cav got chip damage on Tethys, but since I killed the 4th one, she managed to live to see another day. That's another minus 30 to my score, and now our round 2 sabotages have all been used up.
Hey, chat, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Linking. You get what you deserve, bitch.
This is where we're falling apart.
Damn, she's not gonna die.
The rest of this run involved me trying to play it safe and still hold that bottom right corner with Innis, Gilliam, and Tethys, and I was very safe. The boys were messing around on the western side of that map still, seemingly oblivious that Pablo was about to come in and mess shit up. Just before Pablo showed up, Jae rescued his Erica with Tana to get her out of range of a few enemies and ended turn right on the edge of ballista range. This has to be one of the biggest misplays of the run so far, since the very next turn, Tana got gunned down by that ballista in 1 shot.
Oh, you're fucking kidding me, dude. Oh, dude, I can't believe I was barely on the edge.
It's falling apart, chat.
She never stood a chance. And as if that wasn't bad enough, Pablo comes rushing in a turn or 2 later, and everyone is in range of his onslaught.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Dude, I thought
wait
it
a
was
minute,
just
maybe we
gonna
don't
be
wall up
Pablo.
here, dude.
We gotta go.
Fuck, we gotta get out of here. Oh my
Run
god!
for the hills, bro. How many? wait, we can take him, dude. It's only 2. It's just this guy.
Jae kept Saleh in range, which is a pretty good idea since he fends off the other units fairly well, but Pablo comes with Purge, which is a fairly accurate long-range tome. And while he's running away with Erica, he also is not able to get out of range, but puts her in range of one of the calves that are charging in from the east side of the map. She gets hit by the Lance unit, and since she's equipping the Steel Sword, which weighs her down, the hit rate goes up, and then Pablo launches a Purge at her from far away and lands the 60% hit.
60-something.
That's pretty accurate.
All right, chat. We're gonna need everybody hands up. Say, dodge.
Dodge.
Everybody hands up.
Oh no, dodge, please, dodge!
Oh, fuck. Alright, well, I hope it's you win.
Let's go gambling!
I hope it's you. Spinning,
Erica
ready?
is down.
This
and
is
a
Jay's
mistake.
fate.
Time
Make sure it
to
doesn't
roll
land
the
on
wheel for the
Saleh.
3rd time
Just
this
make sure it
stream.
lands on you in
At this
chat.
point,
That's what
Jay's
we want.
roster is already
We don't care about
looking
you,
pretty anemic. He doesn't have much by way of choice, and he's been losing units in waves this run so far. Into the wheel roll we go, and if you've been keeping tabs on the series so far, you already know how this is going to go for Jae. And he of course rolls Saleh, which now basically takes him out of the run entirely.
No more energy ring. Oh, you're so.
Oh
lucky.
no,
No fucking way, dude! No fucking way, bro! What?
I thought it was gonna be you. Oh my god.
Jae has not only lost 60 points this chapter, but he's also lost his best 2 units and probably the final potential carries he can get to take him through the endgame. Looking at the units he has left, it's just Noel, who he's definitely not going to use, and Myrrh, who's going to need a bit of babying to level up and also has limited uses on her Dragonstone. Erica will be pretty solid when she promotes, so she'll help him at least play the game, but with his points total, I think it's safe to say he's pretty much out of the running, barring complete catastrophe. We reset the chapter and I'll let a bit of the footage play while I talk about sabotages because our strat wasn't that exciting, honestly. We've had a total of 6 sabotages so far in this run, with 3 final ones to go that will likely get back in the next stream. Of those 6 sabotages, 3 of them have been used to directly kill units, and they have specifically all been my units. Jae nuked Loot and Kyle, while Speedy sent Calm to the slaughter. Speedy's first sabotage was used to force Jae to save Natasha from certain death. My 2 sabotages were used to rescue and remove Ford from 5X so I could hog all the EXP and kills in that chapter. And my second sabotage was the worst sabotage in this run by far, with my failed attempt to kill Tana. It's funny to look at it like this because despite me being called the villain of this run for killing off 3 red units, one of which we most definitely weren't going to be able to recruit anyways, I haven't actually caused anyone to lose points. All the points lost by Speedy and Jae were due to somewhat misplays, be they solo or group decisions such as in Chapter 6, and all of my points lost to death were due to sabotage. They'll also have 2 more sabotages to go, and I'm fairly certain they'll both be used to cause even more death and destruction to my roster, so I expect I'll lose another 60 points there. If that happens, and with Speedy's roster, he may very well pull ahead of me in points and win this whole thing, but I do get 2 pretty strong units back in Ephraim and Duisil soon, so I might be able to go toe-to-toe with him in the late game. I also will have a sabotage to fire back with if need be, but my track record is clean so far. I've never killed an allied unit, guys. I only attack people on the enemy team. Anyways, to wrap this up, because I think this is getting pretty long for just one chapter, we basically agree to huddle in the bottom right corner and wait out the turn count. I decide to go full strategist mode and call the shots to get us to clear the chapter, and thankfully it works. It wins me the MVP vote, Arthur finally gets a magic level up, and we call it there and save chapter 14 for the next stream. Before the stream ended, Speedy and I discussed a deal for me to give him the guiding ring if he allows me to take the chest key in this chapter to give me the energy ring. I think it's probably worthwhile to guarantee me some stat boosts for my units, and an Natasha promotion isn't really going to benefit him that much anyways, but he does get 5 points out of it, so that's pretty good. But I'll let you guys in on a little secret. I've been true to my word. I haven't been doing any research this run, and I honestly don't know where exactly the energy ring is in this chapter. And for the sake of content, I'd appreciate it if no one comes to the stream and tells us where things are, because that makes things more fun. But that's it for now, and our story continues with the next stream, which is Friday, 9 p.m. EST, shortly after this video goes live, so check the description or the comments for a link. You guys won't want to miss this one. I'll see you all on Friday, and for those who can't make it, I'll see you in the next video very soon. Peace.